Touchback is at Sales over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, McNair. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. 11 yards there, first down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
Being chased out left. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now McNair off the play fake. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56. What?
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Breeze. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, but now it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Tomlinson, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
Now, let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
On second down, McNair. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. McNair to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now McNair. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Brings up 3rd down and 20.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. McNair under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Bree's going to throw. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nick Vanette, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Rosas good with the extra point. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day. Easy, opposite.
On first down, Tomlinson, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, it's Tomlinson. And there is a flag, so a big 2nd down pickup, but will it hold? So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Now it's Tomlinson. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Ready? 95, 56. 55. Here we go. What? 21. 26.
On third and long, it's Breeze. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. They'll roll him out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. McNair. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holmes. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 11.
Now McNair. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run on first down. Tomlinson. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the route is on here in this first half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had got.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 79 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Here's McNair. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Off the bootleg. McNair rolling to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, Make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Back to the air on second down. McNair. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On first down, Tomlinson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Tomlinson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
We own them.
They'll run it here with Smith. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56.
Crunch time, defense.
23rd.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ready. 6. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Come on. You better bring it.
On first down, it's McNair. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On third and 2, McNair. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7.
Makes the score Eagles 35, Buccaneers 7.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go again to Tomlinson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come up the ball.
They go back to the ground with Smith. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. All day.
They'll try and pick it up with Tomlinson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. 53 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 2nd and 1. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. McNair. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On 1st and 10, McNair. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
I think if you pulled defensive backs,
and all he takes off with it, it's a fake. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. You still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now McNair looking for a first down throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56.
They'll run on first down. Tomlinson. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go now with Smith. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
I know he ain't got it.
Throwing on first down. McNair. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
No gain on the play. And it brings up third down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. On the return, Hester. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? It's caught inside the 25. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Here we go now as they will again try for 2. Back to throw. McNair. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8.
This is Tomlinson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bucs' 47-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You'll kill. What is that?
Again, it's Tomlinson. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Tomlinson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
It's 3rd and 7.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with
go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'ma